Okay, so today's session is on design documents. We're going to go over the design documents, the design document module. We'll touch on FieldWire, the reporting module, any Q&A, and some of the training resources we have available. So by the end of the session, you'll have a better understanding of the design document module and version control in Gate3 and FieldWire. So the first thing we're going to discuss is the settings configuration. So in Gate3, we do have a settings section for all the different modules in Gate3, and we're going to specifically look at the document type, document discipline, issuance purpose, document scale, and document set. So these are typically set up at the start of a project, so it's not something you should worry about, but I just want to introduce you to the settings for this module so you can see where these fields are being pulled in from. So I'm going to go into Gate3. So I am in there. I signed in as a PM for now. And to access the Design Documents module, you're going to come over to Project Documents and select Design Documents. Okay, so it takes you into the Design Documents module. This is the default view. But before we continue with this, I want to go into the settings first. So to access the settings, click on Start, Administration Settings, and then down to sign in BIM. Okay, I'm just going to put this in edit mode so you can. So one thing I want to point out, when you see blue banners, you cannot edit. When they change to this greenish color, that is an indication that you are in edit mode. So here, this first section is called Workflow Category, although it should be called Document Title or Type, and you'll see why. So this should really say document title. So in here, we have our different document titles, as you can see. I'm in a training environment, so a lot of this is not super clean. So we have our different document titles. If someone wanted to add another document title, what you would do is come over and click Add Workflow Category, and then type in that other document title, and then you would click Apply. Okay. This next section is your document disciplines, all the different disciplines. And then again, if you wanted to add one, you would just click Add Document Discipline, and you would add it here, the description, and Apply. I'm just going to cancel out in this one. If you needed to edit one of the disciplines or the descriptions, you would just click Edit, and then just change this around, and then click Apply. And cancel it. So here, issuance purpose in this section. So depending on the type of job you're on, you have the different issuance purposes. So you would add those in here, exactly like the other two above. You would just click Add Issuance Purpose. And then if you needed to edit one of them, you would just click Edit. And then document scale. Again, you can add the document scale, and you can edit as well, okay? Just one more thing I want to point out in the settings. So all of this is going to be accessed from that when you go into your design document module and you create a design document, you will have drop-downs where you can select from any of these. And then the last thing I want to touch on while we're in here, document sets. So you can create your document sets here, okay, too. And then you have the option when you're creating that design doc in the module to add or use any one of these sets. Document list characteristics. So this has to do with, all right, so that is the settings for the design document module. Now I'm going to go back. Okay. All right, creating design documents. So there are two ways to create design documents. You can add a design document one by one manually, or you can import. So you can import multiple design documents into Gate3 using an Excel CSV file. There are sample of uploads, errors, and workarounds. So this is a workaround for design docs that should not be used. Document type, you would have do not use, or in the document title, or in issuance purpose, so people can visually see it's not to be used. All right, so I'm going to go in. So as I mentioned earlier, this is our default view, and these are all the design documents that have been entered in my project or created in my project. So you have the document discipline, document type. This is the one, this was the workflow category. So if I come here, which I said should be document title or type, sorry. Okay, so here it's worded as in the actual module, it's document type. And then the document numbers, you'll have your version numbers displayed here in this view, the Gate3 generated reference number, the document titles, if there are the drawings, the attachment, the project phase. So a lot of information in this view. If you are in this view and you're searching for a design doc, you can use the filter text boxes to do a search. So maybe I want to look for any electrical drawings, and it'll pull up. If I scroll to the far right, if a document has been superseded, it will, here on the far right, give you the option to display that superseded document. So I'm going to go ahead and click on one just to show you. So when I click on it, it may seem like nothing happened, but what happens is it actually just displays the superseded document below any superseded documents for that one document. Okay, so if you're in this view and you click on superseded document, just make sure to scroll down. Okay, the other option would be to come into this design doc, and then on the left-hand side, navigate to Supersede, and then any superseded documents will reside here as well. And you can open up that superseded design doc. All right, so we're going to go ahead and create a new design doc. So to do that, you're going to come over to New and click New Design Document. All right, so we can do, so here you can either specify details from spec code. So if you click on that, you could come in here, select the spec code. For example, I could click electrical, and it will pull in that title, the number. I could change this by removing it. You have to remove it. Or you can just come in and add your own design document title as an example. And then let's see the number that I'm using. I'm going to do as an example, and then version number 1, enter your version. And then these 4 fields, these are the 4 that we discussed in the setting. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so document type, that is that workflow category. So I'll just select drawings, document discipline, select electrical, purpose, 60%, and then scale. Okay, and then the date of creation of this design doc. So maybe it was actually yesterday. I'm just entering it today. Okay, so that's really the date that the architect or design team has issued that drawing, plan, or spec. So that's the date you want to use. Okay, and then here, add creator. So you can link to a design firm or architect that created that drawing, plan, or spec. So I'm going to go ahead and click on it. And I'll just select my design team, and you're going to enter that information. Okay, so if you click on Add Creator, these are all your project contacts. So if you're searching for a company and it doesn't come up, it could be that it's just not to your project. So then you'll have to go into the Companies and Contacts module, look up that company, and link it or add it to your project from the Companies and Contacts module. Once that is done and you come back in here, you should be able to find it. Okay. Any comments you want to add, you can do that here. If you wanted to add this to a set, you could just click on Add to Set and select which set you want to add this design document to. And then here you're going to attach the actual PDF, that drawing, plan, or spec. So you click Attach Files, and then let me just back out here. Okay, and there is my PDF. And that is really it when you're actually going in here and creating one by one. So you fill out all this information, you add creator, the design document creator. Any comments you want to add, you can. If you want to add it to a set, you can do that here as well. And then you want to attach that PDF of that drawing plan spec here. All right, so at this point, if you need to continue working here in this design doc, you can save as draft and then come back whenever you need to and continue working. Here we have save and we have save as next. So save just saves the design document and closes you out of this design document. This one, save and next, is saving this design document. And then if you have to enter another one, so for example, if I have to enter another one, I click save and next. Okay, it opens up a new design doc, and then all I have to do is come in here, maybe change this up, you know, whatever I need to do. Maybe the drawing number is 302, and then I would do the exact same thing as I did with the first one. I would just change some of the information here if I had to. And then again, add creator, add to set, attach file. So if I had to, so I would continue doing this. If I had to enter a few this way in gate 3, this is what I would use, save and next, okay? I'm just gonna cancel this one out. Okay, and then, so the next I'm going to show you is how to import design documents. So let me just back out here. So there's our E301. Let's see if I had to find it. Come in here into the view, and there it is. All right, so let's do a new import design doc. So you're going to get this pop-up. And right here, it says download a sample import template. So I'm just going to click on it. And then we'll open up the CSV. Okay, and they've added some information here just to use, just for your reference, as an example of what should be in here. So you can see the document, you'll have to enter a document number. So let me show you what is actually mandatory. So anything in this highlighted in yellow, so document number, the title, and the date created, those are mandatory fields, okay? And then these here in green, these are system validated. So depending how these were set up or configured in the settings of gate 3 for design document module, these will matter because, for example, if I have in my settings for document type, I have entered in my settings drawing, and then I put one here as drawings, when I go to import this file into gate 3, the system will not accept it because it is system validated. So because I have the S at the end, and that's not how I have it set up in my, configured in my settings, the system will not accept it, okay? So if I come here, so I already have one created, so I'm going to close this one out. So here is mine, and here I have drawings. So let's go into gate 3 settings. So let me just close this out for a second. And I want to make sure that I have, okay, so I have both here. This is because, again, this is my training project, but really you would only have one or the other. So in this case, it will accept both, but really in the live environment, you would only have one. It would only accept one. And then here I have architectural here, and in my CSV, I also have architectural, the exact same. So it will accept it, same as the issuance purpose. It is the same. Okay, so I've added my mandatory columns. So document number, title, and created date. Okay, and then I'll speak to this a little bit when we actually import it. These are not mandatory. As you can see, I did not add a scale or a set. However, if I did, again, these are system validated, so I have to match what I have in the system. Okay, this is mandatory. This is just the vendor number, company number. Okay, so I've populated the CSV file. So the next thing I have to do is I also need to import those PDFs of that of the drawings. So there's an extra step to this. I need to add the name of those attachments here. I can't, unfortunately, just type it in. I actually have to use a macro file to import the PDFs. So to do that, let me just close this out. You would have to access the Gate 3 help to access that macro file. So what you would do when you're in Gate 3, you're going to come over to help. You're going to click on it, okay? And it's going to open up, I'm already in there, so it's going to open up Gate 3 help. And on the left-hand side, you're going to look for the module. So Design Documents. I'm already in the Import Design Documents. So this is where you want to come to in the Gate 3 help. And you're going to scroll down. And right here, use the Excel macro to quickly populate the file names into your Excel sheet. Download here. Okay, so when you download it, I already have it open. It's going to look like this. So what you have to do here is you have to, where you have those drawings saved on your computer, on your local drive, you have to get that path, that directory path, and paste it in here. So I'm going to show you what I mean. So for example, I have a path here, but I'm going to go into my folder where I have those drawings. Okay, so here are my drawings. I have that CSV file that we were discussing, right? And then here are my drawings. So to find my directory path, I'm just going to come over here, click, and this is my directory path. So what I want to do is I want to copy this path, so Control C, and I'm going to paste it in here. So what you have to do is when you click in the cell, you want to remove everything here before the backslash. So I'm going to delete, and then I'm going to paste what I just copied from my folder. So this here. I'm going to paste where my drawings are located. Okay, so there's my path, my new path. And what I'm going to do now, the next step would be to click on Get File. I'm going to click Get File. And now it recognizes from that path there are 3 drawings. When I click OK, you're going to see the name of those drawings appear here. And there they are. Okay, so what I have to do now is copy this and then come over to my CSV file and paste it in here. Okay, so I know it's an extra step. Let's just review quickly.
I have a quick question too when you have a minute.
Yes. Yeah.
Go ahead. If you go back to that other spreadsheet, the one that we downloaded right from the Gate 3 prompt, like when you go to new list, yeah, so this file was generated right from the Gate 3 list. Can this macro be incorporated on a second tab of this document so that we don't have to go to 2 different locations to find it?
That's a good question. I can make a note of that. I'm not sure, to be honest. I haven't tried that.
No,
but that's something I can try. So what I do is, so you don't have to download it every time, I just keep it in my folder on my computer,
Fair enough.
This macro file. And then when I need it, I just open it up, and all I do is just change the path.
Okay, fair enough.
So yeah, I'm not downloading. But that's a good question. So I can see if I can find out for you.
Awesome, thank you.
Yeah, sorry, who am I speaking with?
This is Spencer.
Thanks, Spencer. Okay, so I'm just making a note.
Perfect, appreciate it.
No problem. Okay, perfect. Just made that note. All right, so again, going back here, just to quickly review it, you would come in here, click Import Design Docs, download that sample CSV template, right? And then, so which is this here, but then we had to get the attachments, the drawings in here, and we had to use that macro file, which we pulled in from our Gate 3 help, right? So you're going to come over here to the help, you're going to open up the Gate 3 help, go to Design Documents, Import Design Documents, scroll down till you get to this section here. Okay, Excel macro. Okay. Now I'm ready to pull this in, so I'm just going to go ahead and save this. And just take note of the date, the format. I have month, day, and year, and hopefully that works. So let's have a look. All right. So now see right here, you need to have the right, so whatever you have formatted on that CSV needs to match here. So there are options. I formatted it like this, the month, day, year. You can do it with the full year. As long as this matches what you have on your CSV, the system will accept it. Okay, so we're going to go with this format. Okay. And then we're going to pull in that CSV. So it's in here. But not only do you have to pull in that CSV, you also have to pull in the drawings that are listed on that CSV. Okay, so here are all the drawings that I listed on the CSV file. Now I'm going to open. Hopefully it accepts it. Perfect. And now I'm going to click Import. And now it will be in, it automatically goes into your draft view, okay? So what I want to do now is sort of A1, okay. A1, I want to look for them. So there they are. Just put in version 1, filter even further. Okay, so here are my imported design documents. They are in draft. So what you can do in this, from this view, is you can select all of these drawings and do a mass save or a mass delete. Maybe you made a mistake, you can do a mass delete, or you can delete one by one or save one by one if you had to. Now, if you imported these and they were missing some of these document details that I have here, like the document discipline, document type, document purpose, the set, what you can do before you save this is you can check one or all and then click on specify document details. So you still have that chance in here while you're in draft to either change or add those additional details. Okay, so I have architectural, so I could change it if I had to, if I made a mistake. The document design, document discipline, I could change. Issuance purpose, you know, maybe it should be 50. If I want to add it to a document set, I could definitely do that here. If I had to change the creation date, I can do that here as well. So you have this opportunity when you import those design documents, before you save them, if you have to make any changes or add these extra details, you can do that here. You can also add additional comments. And here you can also select that design document creator, okay? So that firm or that company that created those drawings. So if I hadn't added it, which I didn't with the import feature, I can select my consulting firm. And then I would just click save here. Okay, so now it has moved. You cannot, if I, were to come in here and look for it in the draft view, it is no longer there because I have saved these design documents. So what I want to do is come over to the view and view design documents. And then let's look for it. So I think we're going to have to put the description. Okay, and there they are. So they're now current. So the status is no longer in draft. It is now current. So the next thing I want to show you here is, what if you want to supersede these? So what you would do is you would open up that CSV file. And you would use this to supersede it. Give me a sec. Just expand that. So what you have to do is we have to find the reference numbers for these drawings. So these are the gate 3 reference numbers. And we have to input it in here if we want to supersede the documents. And in order to do that, we need to go over to the reporting module to pull in those reference numbers. So let me just minimize this and this one. And I'll close this. And see if I can see it from this view. Okay, so these are the reference numbers we're looking for. And the reason I say let's go into the reporting module is if you imported, I don't know, 10 or 20, and you wanted to supersede all 10 or 20, this might be difficult. You know, you're going to have to pull in one by one. As where you go to the reporting module, you can just select all of them. So I'm just going to do this here, copy. Come over to the reporting module, and then document management, and there's my design document log. So what I want to do is I want to click on create report, and then click preview report. Downloads an Excel file, enable editing. And now I want to look for $52. Okay.
It's up 4. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. All right. So let's go back to the CSV file, and then I'm going to come here. This should be 1351.
That reporting module, you can run filters and everything like that on it.
You can, yes. That's
Correct.
what's good about it. Yeah, for sure. So let's go back in there quickly. So yeah, that's what these reports are good for. You can filter them, and then every single design document that was logged in your project will be listed here as well. Okay, let's just go back to design and BIM for a second. So here are the 1351 is A103. Okay, so I did have it right. Do that again. Okay, there we go. All right, so, and then of course you would have to update your drawings, so you would have to use that macro file again to import those attachments. I'm just gonna leave this one, I'm not gonna do it again, but you would use that macro file, find your directory path, wherever those drawings are located on your computer, and get the files, and then copy and paste it into the CSV you're going to import. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and save these new changes because we're going to supersede. I'll close this out. Okay, and now we're going to do new, import, and again, pull in that CSV and the new drawings. Okay, so again, I'm in my draft. So let's look for it. Okay, and what you want to do at this point, again, if you had to make any changes, you would check one or all of these boxes, come over to specify document details. I'm not going to do that this time. What I can do is I'm just going to do a massive save. Okay, so now it is no longer in a draft status. It is in a current status. So I'm going to go view, design documents, and look for that one again. Okay, and then here you'll see now that you have show superseded documents. Now, I did make one mistake, which I should have done. I didn't pick it up till after I clicked save. So the version number here, of course, would not be 1, it would be 2. I've superseded the documents. I could have changed that when I pulled it in, when it was still in draft mode, or, of course, in the CSV file. So I did miss that. I apologize. So this should say 2, version 2. And then if you want to view the superseded documents from this view, you would just click here on the far right, show superseded documents, and there is the previous one, okay? Again, you can also open up this new version and then come over within this design document, click supersede, and the original version is here as well. Now I'm just going to back out. Okay, so there are different views as well. So this is what we've mainly been using, the draft design documents view, the design documents view, that's all design docs. There's the design document, the document lists. They're all listed here. You can also do a design, create a new design document list. We usually use this section when it pertains to Schedule B, as I mentioned earlier, and we look at this one in our contracts module training. So this is where you would create your design document list. So for example, I'm just going to put, just as an example, just to show you. And then purpose, this will come from, again, your settings, the purpose. Here. Here. So right here from the settings, this is, these are my options in my project in the design document list, as you can see here. So for contracts, I would select Schedule B, any comments I want to add. And then what I would do is I would add my design documents. So I'd click on that. And I'll just select a couple here. And I'll select a superseded one just to show you. So that's 1021. Okay. Okay, so I think it was this one that superseded. So the reason I pulled that in is when you do add the design documents to this list, you can click Get Latest Version, because maybe you accidentally from this pop-up, as you were selecting, you could have accidentally selected a superseded one. So if you just want to confirm and make sure you have the latest versions in the set, you're going to click Get Latest Version. You'll get a pop-up. Are you sure you want to get the latest design documents? Go ahead and click Yes. And then you'll see this one has changed from version 1 to 2. So now I do have the most recent in this set. So when I'm done, I would just click Save. Okay, and there's my set. So if I go View, Document List, sorry. And there it is. If I had to look for it, just type it in, and there it is. Okay. One other thing I want to show you. Let me just back out here. So here's a design document. Got my drawing attached. I can actually initiate review. So what this is I can select a reviewer, and this is all people that are linked to your project. It allows you to put a drawing in someone else's ball and court to review the drawing. So what you would do is you would click on Initiate Review, right? And maybe you want whoever you're sending this to, you need this back by, let's say, the 4th Friday. You're going to select your reviewer. I'm just going to put myself in here, but you would select someone, and then you would click Add Reviewer and scroll down. So there's the reviewer. And then you would add your comments. Okay, so there's my comment. Please review and add your comments before we send out to the design team. So maybe I just want to have someone else review it before we confirm anything. And then this also puts it in someone else's bulletin court. So I would do that, and then I would just click submit. Okay, and then this person would come in and, for example, they'd go to their home screen. A second. Let me just scroll down. So I don't see it here. So one thing I do want to point out, give me a second here. All right, so give me one. So what would typically happen is the person, the reviewer, the person this gets sent to, they would come into my activities, my tasks, and it should be listed in there. But I also believe, give me a second, they also get an email. So it looks like this. Okay, so whoever you sent it to for review, you want them to have a look at. It will say design document review, review start date, review end date, initiator name. So I'm signed in Gate 3 as Donna Project Manager. That's why you see that here. And there's my notes, my comments. And then here is, there is a link. So I could just from here go right into that design document. And there are also attachments. So, you know, maybe if you had someone who is not part of project contact and maybe you need someone to review this and they don't have access to Gate 3, they would have the attachments here. Okay. Go back. All right, document and version control. So it is critical to keep your drawings up to date by inserting new versions. FieldWire will automatically transfer all of the tasks and markups from your old version to the newest sheet you upload. So this means that your as-built drawings remain accurate and your team stays in sync. But for legal records and for version control and subcontract issuance, it must be maintained in Gate 3. Okay, so if you're using FieldWire for your drawings, you should really still be uploading them into Gate 3 because this is what we use for our records, our legal records, and subcontract issuance. All right. Any questions?
Yes, it's Nagar. I have a question regarding the document list. So what you did, you selected, let's say, like 4 drawings that you knew like what drawings you wanted. What if I want to like create a document list of like 100 documents?
You want to add 100 documents?
Yes, to my Schedule B, for example, I want to create like 100 documents. I mean, put it in the list.
Yeah,
what
you
is
should be able to do that.
Yeah, like that. How can I filter it based on what I need? Like if, because I can't see the document type, so I can't really specify by document type.
Right, so in Gate 3, these are the different filters you can use to locate your drawings. So either you would know the document title, the document number, the Gate 3 reference number, or if this becomes a little difficult, again, just go into the reporting module, right? And then you can locate all the design documents in your project and you can filter all this for what you're looking for, if that helps.
Yeah, I mean, because I was looking for a way to be able to filter on the create document list view based on what I needed. Because I always go for that purpose. I always go from my the whole document window view like I can filter by document type there, and then I go create a list. But it would be nice if like we had document type here also, or at least like document set, so that if I wanted to create a list of all the documents that they were in 90%, for example, detail,
Right.
I could like do that from here as opposed to
Yeah,
going to
from
the
this
main view.
section here, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's a good point. I'll make a note of that as well. So in the Design Documents module, I don't know. So for those of you, I'm not sure if you're aware, but we have our new Gate3 user interface and the old Gate3 user interface. So when you first log into Gate3, it looks like this. This is the new Gate3 user interface. However, Design Documents still resides in the old Gate3 user interface. So some modules do live in the new Gate3 user interface. That would be, for example, companies and contacts, daily set reports, but most of them still live in the old Gate3 user interface. So they are working per module on changing it to the new Gate3 user interface, which means new look, new feel, improvements, make it more user-friendly. So to be honest with you, Nagar, I don't know. I can ask them if they can input that extra column in here. I can't guarantee that they're going to do that.
Yeah, okay.
Because of the way they're developing. But I think that's a great point, and it makes complete sense. So I will note that, and I will send it off to them, and hopefully they can give me some good news.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
And I can let you know.
Excellent. Yeah, I also have another question that I've already sent an email, but maybe I can just mention it here. When importing the documents from CSV file, based on the information that I got today, the file or the attachment is not necessary to be there. So I can import all the information without attaching a file. Is that correct?
Correct. So you will need to get those drawn. So for example, give me 1 second. Let me open that up quickly. Let's try that quickly. So I'm going to do this and okay. Okay, so that was, okay, so it does take it. So let me open it. But there is no attachment.
Ah, perfect.
So see right here,
Mm-hmm.
there's no attachment.
Yes. Okay.
So let me see if I click edit. So if I were to click edit, when I go in, I can attach a file.
Okay. Or you can just leave it without attachment.
Exactly.
Okay. Excellent.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. Any other questions?